Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We saw the signs of the realized soul, how they live in this world. The bound souls are tied to the world by the fetters of woman and gold. They are bound hand and foot, thinking that woman and gold will make them happy and give them security. They do not realize that it will lead them to annihilation. When a man thus bound to the world is about to die, his wife asks, "You are about to go, but what have you done for me?" Again, such is his attachment to the things of the world that when he sees the lamp burning brightly, he says, "Dim the light, too much of oil is being used," and he is on the deathbed. How the mental setup of a man who is not only in the world but attached to the world. There is no harm in living in the world, living in family, living with others, doing all the duties of life, but one has to live anointed with the divine love that makes them move about in the world freely without being stained. There should not be stain, karma should not bind. Just like God is not bound by karma. The realized soul is not bound by karma. The Nitya Siddhas, the Prakriti Leena Purushas, the Chiranjeevis, all these people, they are beyond the laws of nature and they are not bound by the laws of nature, including karma. Karma does not affect them. So, when does the living with a family is different from living with attachment to the family? There must be a kind of detached attachment. Attachment is to take care and serve and bear the responsibility. I have given birth to a child. It's my responsibility to bring it up and make it stand perfectly in the world, offer it back to the nature which has given it. Otherwise, what we do is, I cannot live without it. I want it, it is mine. The sense of mine, for me and I, are the harmful things. Objects by themselves do not bind man. The mindness in that object alone binds. So, those who, it is not that Sri Ramakrishna is expecting everyone to renounce and run away. To see a woman as woman, gold as gold, and both as mine, the problem develops there. When he says, this gold is mine, and sees gold as gold, gold is a part of this creation. Wife and children are part of creation. According to my karma, they have been kept here with me for a few days. I have to exhaust my karma and I have to be in the company of these people. The place is selected by nature according to my karmic load. So karma takes us from place to place. I have got my karma to work out there because that is the right place where I can work out my karmic load. My vasanas I can work out. I may be born, now we are speaking about human beings. Next birth I may be some dog or a cat somewhere according to my karmic load. In which species if I go, or I can be Devata or somewhere else in some other planes of existence within the creation, I may go according to the karma. In none of these species, including Devatas, there is the capability or provision for a being to realize God or transcend the nature and go beyond. So it is within the nature. To transcend the nature, only human birth alone is possible, because in human body alone is the intelligence and ego required to transcend the karma is there. According to karma, you may get birth anywhere, but when the karma gets exhausted, suppose I have done lot of meritorious acts, good karmas, that I will be born again, I will go to some heavenly places in the same creation, Bhubhuva Swaha Mahajana Tapa, some jana or tapa or some other plane of existence I am there. I exhaust my karma by enjoying there my karmic load, and when my punya karma and papa karma are almost equal, I again descend to this world of humans, of these mortals, as human being. The karma, punya and papa may be little or more, but almost when it is equal, I take the human birth. If the papa is more, the sinful tendencies and sinful acts, the fruits of the acts are more, then I will be born as some animal, this and all that, here itself in this universe. It is too much compared to the vast like ocean, compared to the punya karma that I have done. Then I will be in some atala, vitala, sutala, talatala, rasatala, patala, some of the lower planes of existence. So wherever I am there in the 14 planes of existence, I will be coming back again and again. There I exhaust my papa karma. These are called purgatories, where you expend your earnings. Spend your earnings and come back. Papa punya gets, there is greater ignorance, greater darkness, greater suffering. In the higher planes there is greater joy, greater freedom, greater light. This is all the difference. But all the planes of existence are bound by the karma. And we have to, when the karma gets exhausted, we again take the human birth. Now we are all human beings in human birth. From here I can transcend the nature and go beyond, or yield to my karmas and be born here and there again. This Sri Ramakrishna says, when you attain this human body, transcend the nature, enter the eternal, because all relationship, however dear, however great it be, it is for one life. It is going to end with this life. My father, mother, my husband, wife, whatever be, my children, all people, whoever there is there, to whomever I may be attached, I will be torn away, and the next moment I leave this body, I don't even remember. Just like when I enter into sleep, I don't remember anybody. Like that, I don't remember anything or anybody. In next birth, again when I come as human being, he may be my neighbor, I might have been born in the same family, but I may not recognize even that person. Suppose I am going, some beggar comes and asks me some alms, I say, get out. He might have been my child in last birth, or my father is reborn. Again and again we are born here. Again and again we come into contact. But we may not be able to recognize. Just a few days life, few days attachments. Just because I am keeping everything for my sake. Each person keeps his family for his sake, not for others' sake. And nobody is going to die with anybody. When I was in forest life, there was one person, his eldest sister was the great-grandmother. She had seen her fifth generation. Her daughter's daughter was born. She had taken the photograph of with the 5 generations. Herself in the topmost and the newborn baby in the lowest rung. The whole family was there. And she died. And I asked her son, her brother, I think, Hare, 5 generations, so many, 36 people were there. Nobody went with her. She loved everyone, and everyone says, I love my granny, or I love my granny. Nobody went with her. She went alone. Nobody cares. Our attachment is only to that extent. One boy was there, college-going boy. He bought one dog to bring it up. Small puppy he brought. He started loving it. And what all things he will do. And he appointed a teacher to teach it so many ways of living. He will take it to the ground, throw the ball, the dog will run and catch it and bring it back. It will play, all types of playing, this, that and all. The trainee was training. And slowly the mindness grows. He was loving that dog, puppy grown up now. And how much he loved, he was showing to others. Whatever food is given, he will take and run. He got employed. Now he has got his own money to bring up to keep the dog happy. He has a small house like for that, with carpet inside, sofa and all. He was showing off his love for that dog. Everybody used to wonder how much he loves that dog. Then dog fell ill after some time, after 9 years or so. He started weeping. Dog is not taking food. It has given up the food. Not strike. It is not well. So he started weeping. My dog is this. And then he took to the doctor. Doctor gave some injections, this, that medicine, sent him back, and it did not subside. After 5 days he took it again. Then again doctor said, no, it is not possible. You may not survive now. Anyway, you leave it in the hospital. There is hospital for the animals also. So the dog was admitted to the hospital. They were taking care, and then one day, the third day, telephone call came from the hospital. It is not going to survive. It is ending its breath within few hours. you can make arrangements to take it back. And then he knew when doctor has told it is last thing, now he made elaborate arrangements for its burying. In the backyard, one pit was dug. The dog was still there in the hospital because 3-4 hours time was there for dog to die, and invited all his friends, this, that and all, garlands, this, so many things were ready. And there the doctor, after some time by evening, a call came, it has started breathing again. Now that boy was so much disgusted, it wants that dog to die somehow. Oh, it's not going to die, it is not going to die. Now he is weeping because it is not going to die. He has made so much elaborate arrangements and invited all the friends to bury it. And the dog is going to survive. And then he feels very sorry. And then he rings up the doctor, can you kill it off? This is the love that we have. See, till it serves my purpose, we want it. It was the love that was, love showing love is different from loving it actually. The love, actually we don't love, we show love. To take advantage of a thing. Now he wants his photo and all will come with the dog in the this Facebook, you see. How much he loves this, that and all. Just for that. To highlight himself, he was keeping that dog all these years. So, for my sake I am keeping my family. Whatever I keep with me is for my sake. I weep not because the person is dead, I lost an object which was helping me. Same thing, old parents which are burdened in the family, the children will not bother. The day the parents die, they will feel relieved. This is the love that we have for others. We keep all things for ourselves and we are attached to it only because it is giving some return. The day it becomes a debt, nobody wants that. Wants to somehow get rid of the problems. So this kind of attachment is going to harm. And one thing we must know is nothing is going to help you in times of need, only God. And at the time of death also. Nothing comes, nobody can help you, neither money, nor wealth, nor people, nor your family people, nor the doctors, nobody can help you. All external securities will fail. If you have acquired the inner security, you are safe. So this acquisition of inner security is most important part. The external life must go on. Internal life must be there. Internal life should not clash with the external life. Let your bodily existence be in the world like all others are there in the world. Let you also be working in the world with all others. Inner awarenesses are different, external. For your livelihood, work in the world like all others for your livelihood. And internally, your livelihood is total dependence on God. Externally, whatever you do for your livelihood, do it as an offering to God, offer it to the Divine, and be at peace. Internally, your dependence is not on your job, it is on God. You will have to take care of me. You will have to take whatever I need from time to time. You have to take care of me. You have to give, you have to provide. The total dependence, inner dependence is external livelihood is working. The working is going to the office here, there, that working, earning, everything is bringing. There it is totally with diligence, with dedication, he works. With honesty. Without honesty, nothing can be there in spiritual life. Honestly he works, sincerely he works, dedicatedly he works, and offers that to the Divine internally. Oh, all this would not help me. God alone should help me. Internal security and internal dependence. For your livelihood, you are alive, you need food, you need all things. All that is, his dependence is on God. Profession in the external world can be anything. You may be a doctor, you may be the engineer, this, that, all. Internally, your profession is to call on God alone. You have no other professions. Your profession is your stream of life. You are living for God. You are doing everything for God. You are committed to God. You offer yourself to God internally. Externally, he is a doctor, he is an engineer, he is a lawyer, this, that, he is moving about. Internally, he knows nothing will help. I am none of this. I am only a servant of God. Prayer also. Thakur never liked anybody wearing torn clothes also. Some people don't care for this. No, no, no. You are a child of God. You should not wear. See, in prayer also, there is a right way of praying. The prayer, we usually, whatever we cannot reach, whatever now, devotion, getting rid of some defects in me, this I cannot remove by any means. I start praying. Sometimes for food, for needs, basic needs, in family life and all, when I lose my job, nothing is there. Swamiji's life you see, after his father suddenly, after the demise of his father, what a state comes in the house. There is nothing to eat. So it's now we start praying. We become like beggars in front of God. Oh God, help me, help me, help me. Like a beggar is. No. You recognize your relationship with God. You are a child of God. You inherit. You need not beg. When you recognize yourself to be a child of God, then you will never beg. You have right. All that belongs to your father is yours. And acceptance of this childhood, the innocent look at your father or mother, parent, that you look at that God as his child, and from time to time what is required will be supplied and taken care by him, because child has to be taken care by his father. You are not a beggar, you are a child of God. The moment you change this attitude towards yourself, you never need to beg anything. You will not be a beggar. Turn yourself, recognize yourself. There is a dignified way of approaching God. Approach God as a child, every bit will be taken care. Every bit. At what time, what has to reach you, will reach you. We like fond mother, God will take care of you. If you recognize your relation, eternal relationship. See, bodily existence, for this body, a particular mother gave a birth. But where from the soul came into existence? It is God's. Mama Imamshu Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Manashashtani Indriyani Prakritisthani Karshati. Mama Imamshu. It is my spark that is there in the world as the Ishvara, as the Jiva. It is God's part. I am part and parcel of God, inseparable from God. I am child of God. What do I lack? My Father will supply everything and take care of me. So this, the prayer, the approach is not like a beggar, like a child asking with demand. I want this, I want that. But the basic recognition of eternal relationship with God, as God is mine and I belong to God, has to be recognized. The eternal dependence. All jivas are dependent on the Ishvara. That recognition is that this is the way of prayer. Prayer is conversion of my worldly relationship with all things. Just it drops off. I am child of God. You are also child of God. We are all children of God. So this recognition is the basic, the prayer stops. Now love and intimacy alone increases. This is the right path that we have to hold on to. Prayer means it is recognition of your eternal relationship with God. Always remember. Don't go on praying like a beggar. Please come and help me. Come and help me. I am here waiting for you. Tomorrow we'll see. See, we have heard and read about Sri Ramakrishna and things like this now. We are reading Gospel, we are read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, the Leela Prasanga, this, that and all. And his words, see, we are reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We read Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, when we read, the more and more we read, the God more and more gets enshrined in your mind. He becomes a part of your mind. God enters you through your studies and knowledge of Him. How do you do the knowledge? Scriptures give you the knowledge of God. The realized souls give the knowledge of God. I have seen, Vedahametam. I have seen that promise, that vouchsafing. I vouchsafe to you. I have seen. And God is like this. All enlightened souls, be it Buddha or Christ or anybody who has seen God, all the saints who have seen God, promise us and show us, try to express what God is. From there we get the knowledge of God. And as you listen, understand and hold on to it, God is entering into your mind, manas, mana mandira. God comes into your mana mandira. He becomes a part through the words of the saint, through the words of the enlightened soul, through the scriptures. He enters into our mind. He enters and becomes a part of our mind. Mana mandira, he enters. Now it is your duty to take him to the Hridaya Mandira. And this has to be done with the love. We will see this part tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Tatsat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.